Hey, let's be honest. We've all got moments where our thoughts, take us places where we don't plan to go. These patterns in our thinking are called cognitive distortions, and they're just part of being human. We don't truly know why they're there. Maybe it's something we've inherited from our past or learned along the way. Sometimes they help us feel safe or in control, but they're not always giving us the full picture. Sort of like looking into a room and seeing all the red things. There's a few more things than that. I think about the cost and the importance of this imbalance, all right? I've been there too. I've been caught up in my own thoughts, seeing things all good or bad, overreacting to something small, getting way too excited about something that, didn't pan out. And we all have these moments. But there's a way of thinking that can become our default. And there's much more to make life more stressful than it needs to be, and even cause us to miss out what's really going on. Sort of like walking a tightrope, and you need to find that balance between being cautious and staying open. I think there is a solution, and it really is about what they call metacognition, or thinking about thinking. So why does this matter? Why, once you start to see these patterns in your thinking, you get a bit more of a space of it chosen, how you can respond between the stimulus and response almost. It's like stepping back and realizing that, it's just a thought and it's not the whole truth. And there is the option to go back to, how you thought before, but I think you might find value in seeing things a little bit more clearly. This is about learning to work through your thoughts, not just getting swept up in them. There are 10, what we call 10 cognitive distortions. And I think it's easy because I struggled to actually understand. But before we dive in, let me quickly walk you through the 10 common cognitive distortions that you might recognize in yourself or in others. Think of these as different lenses that we can really warp our view of reality. First one is all or nothing thinking. It's like a light switch, everything is either on or it's off. It's black or it's white. There's no dimmer, there's no shades of grey. It's just on or off. Overgeneralization, imagine that one bad event is seen as a single raindrop, but you see it as a full-blown thunderstorm. One thing goes wrong and then it feels like it's all the way everything else. Mental filter, that's like looking through a tidy, dirty window and you just see all the smudges in the view, the focus on the negatives, and you ignore the positives. Disqualifying the positive. You see, catch a fish, but you throw it back because it's not big enough. No matter what good happens, you just manage to throw it off and that it doesn't count. Jumping to conclusions. First one's like mind reading. You've had a bad psychic, assuming you know what people are thinking, and it's never good. Fortune telling. That's like you're predicting the future, but you're always forecasting a storm, never any sunshine. Magnification, catastrophizing, and minimization. A bit like all or nothing, but you can go the other way, like magnifying glasses on your flaws and making it huge, or shrinking your strengths and almost to nothing. Emotional reasoning is like saying, well, I feel it must be true, so therefore, well, I feel like it, so it must. And your emotions become the only truth evidence, whether they're accurate or not. Should statements. You're always carrying a heavy rule book full of shoulds and musts. And these are exhausting to live by, wherever possible, whether you do it to others or yourself. And then labeling and mislabeling. You slap a label on yourself and others. It's like bumper sticker based on one experience. I'm a failure, or they're terrible, and it just sums it up. So that's the 10. Personalization, number 10, is that you're taking everything personally, like you're at the center of the universe and blaming yourself for things just are literally beyond your control. So, if you're interested in these as an overview, you ever felt stuck in your own head or caught up in a cycle of thoughts? That's why I'm making this series. We'll explore these through thought patterns together, one by one, and it's a way that you can make it real and relatable. My goal is to help you see and understand them. Make it a bit more, conscious so you can choose about how you think. And if that sounds good to you, subscribe and join me on this journey. I'm Chris, Perceptuaware, and I'm driven and drawn to things, peoples, places, things, and ideas that make our life feel better. We hope to see you. Chris out.